Hey, what's up? You're jacked into the franchise. Logan finally jacked into his computer after about 10 minutes of trials. Hey, Logan, what's going on? Logan Be Adair, my co-host.
Hey guys, if you remember last week, I was wrong about what was going to happen in these Buffy episodes. I said that Buffy and Angel would reunite in the episode Passion.
You were way wrong about that. Yeah.
And then, which one was I more wrong about? That one or the prediction that Ali Larder would be in the episode? What's it called?
Killed by Death?
Yeah, what was I more wrong about?
Well, you didn't know that the young Buffy was played by Ali Larder?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You're right about that. All right. What's up? It's dear D. Kinderstad. Oh God, Daniel Ehrenberg over here. That's the name of the demon in Killed by Death. We've got lots of Buffy to talk about this week. Miss Calendar dead. That's our top story tonight. Oh, Logan's upset. But let's get into it. Passion is going to be the first episode we covered. Aired Feb 24, 1998. All right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm right. The number one song in America was Near, Far, Wherever You Are. That's right. My Heart Will Go On. Celine Dion. And but over there in the UK, you guys were having way more fun than we were. You had your number one song was by Corner Shop, and I owned this album, Logan. The song was called "Brimful of Asha." A brimful of Asha on the 45. Close the episode with that if we don't find anything better.
Okay, because I've already used My Heart Will Go On for an episode. I don't want to use that again.
Well, use Brimful of Asha on the 45. Corner Shop. All right. What happened this day, Logan? Lots of big news. Elton John, knighted by the Queen.
Yep.
You excited about that? Sir Elton.
Yeah, sure.
All right. How about this one? This is the week Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee got divorced. You can find a theatrical representation of that classic divorce in episode 8 of Pam and Tommy on Hulu.
Is that the last episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What else went on this week? New albums. Couple new albums were released. The first album, self-titled, by a little band called Train.
Hey, Soul Sister.
That's later Train. This is more deep fried chicken. Hey, yeah. And also Meet Virginia. That was another classic hit from the first Train album. Might have been on the second Train album. But also Fastball released their debut. I was a big fan of that one. The Way. Where were we going without ever knowing the way? Come on.
That's a good one.
What a classic. I had that album. No,
I like it.
I don't think I did, actually. I think maybe I bought their greatest hits later on. All right. So, movies. You want to know what the top movies in America were?
Yeah, sure. Titanic.
Titanic's number one, of course. But number 2 and 3 are movies that came out the previous week where there was a rerun, so we didn't talk about it. Number 2, The Wedding Singer.
What do you want me to say about that?
Great movie. Yeah, that's what exactly. When I say The Wedding Singer, you respond, "Great movie."
Okay, great movie.
Yeah, I agree. I saw it in theaters.
I saw it a year ago.
Number 3, Sphere. I saw that on video like later this year in the summer. That was Michael Crichton adaptation with Dustin Hoffman. They find aliens at the bottom of the sea.
Okay. Isn't that Aliens of the Deep?
No, weirdly, no aliens in that movie.
What? In the Aliens of the Deep, there's no aliens?
That's just about weird fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. But debuting this week, 2 movies, not a big week. Number 5, Senseless, with Marlon Wayans. That's a film where he takes some medicine or something. Or he's doing like when you like sign up to take experimental medication and you get paid for it.
Sure.
So Marlon Wayans takes this experimental medication and it makes him real crazy. His senses are all fucked up. I don't know why it's called Senseless. I feel like he's got extra senses in this one. All right. Number 8, Palmetto, a very sexy film noir with Woody Harrelson getting laid a lot. It's a good movie, actually. All right. You want to hear some wrestling news?
Yep.
Nothing really going on in the WWE, TBH, but WCW was dealing with the aftermath of Super Brawl, in which Scott Steiner turned heel on his brother Rick Steiner and joined the NWO. And eventually, he would get his name Big Papa Pump, that everyone knows and loves. But at first, they were calling him White Thunder. All right? But then they realized that sounds like he's a white supremacist. So we're going to go ahead and change that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Hey, the 40th annual Grammy Awards were this week.
Okay.
Featuring live performances.
You look at the entire week?
Yeah. Well, just like the couple days before and after.
Okay.
Yeah. The Grammys were like, 2 days before this episode. Will Smith performed Men in Black and Getting Jiggy with It. So what a big night for him. He also won the award for Best Rap Solo Performance for Men in Black. And do you know who presented that award to him, Logan? This was mind-blowing. Chris Rock.
Are you serious?
I swear to you.
Holy shit, that is amazing.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. All right. Great job bringing this up then.
Yeah. Chris Rock also won a Grammy that night for Best Comedy Release or whatever. All right. R. Kelly performed I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah.
Fiona Apple performed Criminal. Celine Dion, of course, performed My Heart Will Go On. She was there doing that. There was a Lilith Fair tribute featuring Sarah McLachlan, Sean Colvin, and Paula Cole. Paula Cole that night won the Grammy for Best New Artist, beating Fiona Apple, which drives me nuts. Sean Colvin won Best Record of the Year for Sonny Came Home. Sonny Came Home. Horrible song. We also had a performance by Hanson performing Mbop.
That was an outro one week.
Well, great. Glad to hear it. The album of the year, Logan, Time Out of Mind by Bob Dylan. That's right. A Bob Dylan album won Best Album in 1997. For 1998, I guess. You know what it beat?
What?
OK Computer by Radiohead, which drives me nuts.
That's better.
Is OK Computer, the quintessential Radiohead album, better than a Bob Dylan album from the late 90s? Yes.
All right, I don't know it that well. You know who's going to play Bob Dylan in the upcoming movie? Directed by somebody?
No, who?
Timothy Chalamet.
Why are they making another Bob Dylan movie? I'm Not There was the perfect Bob Dylan biopic.
Well, they're doing it again.
Yeah. And if you want to see Bob Dylan make love next to a roaring fire, check out Factory Girl, where he's played by Hayden Christensen.
All right.
All right. What else? No Diggity won an award. Blackstreet. All right. Wallflowers won some rock awards for One Headlight. Oh, man, big night for the Dylan family. Right?
Sure, I'm not familiar with the Dylan.
Come on.
You're a super fan. I don't know him.
I'm not a super fan. Bob Dylan. He's one of the most famous recording artists of all time.
I don't give a shit about him.
He had a Nepo baby son, Jacob Dylan, who formed the band The Wallflowers, who also won Grammys this night. All right?
All right. Congratulations, Jacob.
Fuck off. But I'll tell you the big drama of the night, Logan. What a big drama it was. Surrounded the song How Do I Live? Familiar with that song?
Yeah, Michael Bolton?
No.
Yeah,
It's
what?
it's
How
from
am I supposed to live without you?
no, it on the Con Air soundtrack. It plays at the end of Con Air. How do I live without you?
Oh, that's very similar.
Well, it was a big song. Now, the song was written by Diane Warren, Logan, who was a popular songwriter at the time. She also wrote "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" by Aerosmith.
Well,
But "How Do I Live?" She said that she wrote it for Leanne Rimes. Okay, you know Leanne Rimes.
sure.
All right, she was 14 years old at the time. She was a budding star, very budding. Oh God, I should have said that.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know. It sounded gross.
Yeah, what else could it mean?
All right, but she wrote it for her, and then she sent in her version of "How Do I Live" to the studio to be used in Con Air. They said it's such a deep emotional song. We don't want a fucking 14-year-old singing it, so they shit canned her version, and they got country performer Trisha Yearwood to perform a version of "How Do I Live." That's the version that's used on the Con Air soundtrack, Logan.
Oh, I had no idea.
But after that song came out and was a big hit, Leanne Rimes' people were like, well, fuck it. We're going to release ours too. And then that became a big hit, Logan.
Yeah.
And it
Which one do you
all...
prefer?
I like both of them. Probably a Trisha
That's not
Yearwood
an answer.
version, though. I like Trisha. But it all led up to the 40th annual Grammys, where Trisha Yearwood's "How Do I Live" and Leanne Rimes' "How Do I Live" were both nominated for Best Country Song of the Year.
Yeah, and
And I'll tell you what, Leanne Rimes performed the song at the Grammys, but Trisha Yearwood walked home with that golden whatever.
that's good. It's like giving somebody best director, somebody best picture, split it in half.
Yeah, I agree.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so that was the Grammys. I loved that. There were a lot of little mini stories going on in that Grammys.
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Isn't
was
that wild?
wild?
I know.
I gotta watch the clips.
I'm
if there's
going to look
any
it up myself.
Budding tension at the time.
Could be. That could be the start of it. All right. Passion is episode 17 of Buffy's second season. It aired Feb 24/98, which I said already. It was written by... It's actually, you would expect a major episode like this to be written and directed by Joss Whedon. And people have theorized that Joss did a lot of rewriting on this one. And maybe even, close supervision of the direction.
Why do they say that?
Because it's so good.
They don't have anything to back that up?
No. Well, it's because the writer and director are kind of an odd team.
What else did Ty King do? I know this. I remember him, though.
This is only his second and final episode of Buffy. And his previous episode was Some Assembly Required, that weird Frankenstein football one.
Yeah, where they miscast the,
That's all you remember, yeah.
Frankenstein.
Absolutely. So,
Right.
I don't know why he would be assigned this episode. And the director is a fellow named Michael Gershman, who was Buffy's cinematographer at the time. And this was the first thing he ever directed in his entire career.
What do you mean? Like he did all the episodes before this?
Maybe, I don't know if he did season 1, but definitely season 2, yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and he's with the show till the end, and he will direct 10 episodes ultimately. This is his first.
I like that.
All right.
That's like when they let Kevin Groiter or whoever it was start directing Saw movies after editing them for the first 4. or whatever.
Yeah, he's the Kevin Groiter of Buffy. All right. This
I think he's
episode,
making the new one, by the way. Kevin Groiter. I might be wrong.
I think you might be right about that, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just get into it, Logan. Why don't you scrote them notes?
All right. Well, my first note, I like looking at the IMDb, as you know. And this is the highest one we've come across so far. The previous one was just a couple weeks ago, Innocence.
I think
That was a
Innocence is
9.2.
better.
But this one, 9.3. So
Wow.
pretty good. All right. Well, we got some voiceover. How do you feel about the voiceover?
I love the voiceover.
You do love the voiceover.
It's a little pretentious, but I like it.
On whose end? Pretentious on the writer's end?
Yeah, I would say the writing of it.
Yeah. All right. But not on. It's not Angel's fault.
No, not at all.
Okay. I like Angel. This episode, very good. Very cool.
Oh
Very,
my god, he's so
scary.
evil.
Evil. Probably the most evil he's ever been. I'd say definitely, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's doing some pretty fucked up shit in this one.
Yeah, really. So we're at the Bronze. Who's performing at the Bronze?
Morchiba. Now,
Chiba Mato?
no, they're a band called Morchiba.
Oh.
It was two British. They were brothers. It's an electronic act, and it's like two DJ brothers, and they had a black female lead singer. And the name Morchiba stood for middle of the road weed.
All right. I remember sort of liking the song.
It was good. Yeah, they're an all right, but they were kind of big at the time. So one of the more popular bands Buffy has used to this point.
All right. I didn't like him as much as Chibo Mato.
No, they're come on, they're no Chibo Mato.
Do you ever get anybody who's good or better than Chibo Mato?
At some point, Amy Mann performs at the fucking Bronze.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. Okay. So, he goes home and he watches her sleep and he's talking about passion. It's like takes us over. We don't know what to do. Whatever he says,
Yeah.
And she wakes up and there's a photo of her. And I thought it was weird.
Not a photo.
It's like a photo. It's like a drawing.
It's a drawing. This is the first time we find out that Angel is a beautiful sketch artist. And
Can
this
I
is
tell you something? I didn't even think about this.
Yeah, this is something that follows throughout both series. You'll see him sometimes on Angel. They'll see a demon. Then they got to do some research on it. So Angel pops out a little sketch of it.
This never even crossed my mind. I knew it wasn't a photo. I just said that just talking, but I knew it was a drawing. But I never actually thought like, oh, he actually did this beautiful work of art. This was Angel's doing.
He gets their likenesses very well. All the people he draws in this episode.
Yeah, no, he does. I thought Jenny was the worst. I thought Buffy looked better than Jenny. Jenny could have been replacement
but I liked
level.
That Jenny,
anyone.
he drew those little flowers on her dress.
Okay, but I just thought Buffy looked more like Buffy.
No, I
more
agree.
distinct.
Maybe the best one, Joyce.
Oh, you're right. Joyce looked incredible. I knew that was really the nose. The nose was like very good. The nostrils, I feel I'm talking about. I think they got the nostrils well. A good call. Joyce was the best one. But I thought it was weird. She shows up to the library. And she's like, hey, there was this drawing of me, but she didn't bring the drawing to the library as proof to be like, this is what happened.
Maybe she ripped it up in anger, and then she was like, oh shit, I probably should have told my
I
friend.
should have shown that. That could have been fun. Or she's walking and like the bus drives to a puddle, splashes her,
Oh yeah, that could be.
gets the drawing wet.
The dog ate it.
Okay, so they're still in the library, and then the students come in. I don't know if we've ever seen this before. Students come in and they're just like, all right, let's just go somewhere else and talk, because students are coming in to find some books. Have we seen that before?
The only time we've ever seen somebody come into the library that is a student and not. Yes, exactly. My Emily.
What's his name?
Owen.
Did he live? He lived, right?
He's still living.
And she mentions him, right? Didn't you say that?
I think next season, yeah.
Next season, she mentions Owen.
Yeah.
Did you remember him at the time? Were you like, oh shit, it's Owen?
Absolutely. I was obsessed with this show.
How did you go back and like, were you like rewatching it or what? Was there a way to do that at that time?
No, there really wasn't. Around the time of the 5th season, they started airing reruns of the first 4 on FX. But up until that point,
I thought they had the movies.
They do, but they also had some TV shows. But I would watch all the reruns, like all summer long. They would rerun the episodes, and so I would watch them again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How many times do you think you've seen? Like, have you seen them like pretty lopsided? Like, you've probably seen the first few seasons more than the last few, or you think you've seen them all about the same amount? How many times have you seen the whole show?
I might have seen the last season fewer, but the first 6 I've watched like over and over again.
All right, that's not a number, but all right.
I don't know. The whole series I've probably seen
Yeah, how many times have you seen it?
10 times.
All right, 10 times. That's a lot of times. I've never seen any show 10 times, except for Big Brother 10.
Well, this is the only one I have. But what was I talking about? Oh, and the internet was already popping off. So there was a website called BuffyGuide.com. I think you could still go on it. And they would have little guides to every episode.
What does that mean, guide?
You know, they would talk you through references and some classic quotes. And, you know, they'll have a little review of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I wrote down this, Watcher's Pet. Do you like that line?
Sure. Hey, go back to those students walking in, Logan.
Oh, yeah. Who were they? Oh, shit. Was one of them Jonathan?
You motherfucker! You said you were going to pay attention this week.
Oh, my God. When's the next time he comes back? I'll pay attention again.
I don't know, but this was him. Jonathan came in.
He had a girlfriend, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they were dating, but with a girl, and they were looking for
That's
books on Stalin.
Right. God damn it. Jonathan. And
You were incapable of noticing this man.
They never show him close up. That could have been anybody. They're all really far away, right? They're like at the table, and those people come in the door, and they're like, all right, let's leave.
Yeah.
It's really far away. You could never tell.
Oh, fuck off. Here,
You didn't know the first time you saw it.
Of course I did.
No way you knew that. Oh, you're on the guide. You knew that he was coming up in the next episode. I guess I did too. I still didn't fucking know.
Yeah, bitch. The next time you'll see him is this coming week, the 2nd episode.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what else did you have from those people?
No, that's it.
Okay. Do we never see that girl again?
No.
Okay. Watcher's Pet. You didn't care about that?
It was funny. Xander's funny in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, Xander's actually got some pretty serious shit in this one and the next one.
Yeah, I love Xander. Xander's cool.
Yeah.
So basically Buffy, she's like, she knows the story about Angel when Angel killed, like when he was obsessed with Drusilla and he killed her whole family, basically. And so she's like, well, like, my mom, gotta worry about my mom, so I gotta tell her, and we gotta find the spell to make it where he can't get back in because we already gave him permission that one time.
Right.
And there's a whole subplot this episode where Cordelia's like, well, I let him in my car once. I gotta get a new car. She like swaps cars with her grandma.
That's not a thing. It's not and no one ever corrects her. They just let her freak out about this.
They never say like calm down.
No.
Or anything. All right. I love Cordelia. Sometimes her stuff doesn't work that well, and it seems like it's like a sort of a stretch, like that's all you could come up with. But I don't really care. I love her. I love the actor. What's her name?
Charisma Carpenter.
Can you say your first name?
Charisma.
So straight up Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah.
All right.
She's in the movie, the first one of The Expendables.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to do that. That is so cool. They should have made a Coherence 2. We could do Coherence.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
Xander.
Maybe between seasons, we can do like a movie that some of these guys are featured in. So like give us a little break between episodes. We can do like a Sarah Michelle Gellar movie. We can do... No, all her movies are franchises. Not all of them, but Cruel Intentions is a franchise. Scooby-Doo is a franchise.
We could cover Simply Irresistible, the one where she gets magic cooking powers.
Okay, that's fun. we could do all of them. All right, that's very fun. All right, what else? What happened after that?
You tell me, buddy. These are your notes.
Oh yeah, Willow. There's this weird thing where Jenny's like, I'm gonna be late. I didn't really understand this, to be honest. So, I mean, I understand it, but it didn't really play out to me in my head. I guess it plays out because she make her sad at the end. I don't know. But the whole thing is like, she's like, I'm going to be late possibly tomorrow, so I need you to sort of fill in for a little while I'm going to be late. And I guess this is just to set up that later, like when she dies, or she gets bummed when Jenny is there at one point, and then later on she's bummed because Jenny's not there, and it gives like Willow a little through line this episode. But It didn't really do it for me, to be honest.
Well,
What do you think?
there's more than that.
Yeah, what is it?
Jenny doesn't want to tell people that she's looking for the angel shit yet because
Right.
she's still sort of on the outs with the gang. So
Yep.
the reason she's going to be late is that she's stopping at that magic store the next morning, and so that sets up that. But it also has Willow becomes the person who's going to watch over the class now that Jenny's dead. And it gives Willow a reason to be in Miss Calendar's classroom where that fucking disc falls or into that crack at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a good point also when you got to get that shot.
Yeah.
Is Willow being paid? She's like a substitute teacher, right? She says
I
like
don't
I'm going to be
believe she's
filling in
being-
until
I don't believe she's being paid, but I think teaches this class till like the end of the season.
I mean, she says like I'm going to fill in until we get a new teacher. That's what
Yeah.
she says. So yeah, I don't know. None of that really did it for me this episode. I'll be honest. I thought this wasn't a great episode, but I don't want to like nitpick. But the whole like I'm gonna be late, and then she shows up after saying I don't know. I didn't really care for it. But whatever.
Whatever.
What else happened? Oh, Rupert Giles is there, and he's talking to her, and he's like,
Full name.
he's like, I'm not the one you have to make it up to. That's something that he says to her. But he
Right.
says it in an English accent. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I got to make it up to Buffy. So that's what sort of sets her on the course of getting Angelus. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah. Doesn't she also use the fucking L word in that scene? Like she tells Giles that she loves him.
She did. She's like, I didn't know I'd fall in love with you.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. But then Buffy's at home with Mom, and she's like, hey, if Angel shows up, he's been like real clingy lately, and I don't really want to deal with him, so just send him packing if he comes around here. And she's like, all right. So that's that, right?
Mom thinks he's just a college guy who is tutoring her in history.
Right. She says at one point, she's like, he's way too old. Or is that later? I think that's later when she
That's
realizes.
later, but I love that because he's so much older than she thinks.
Yeah, I thought that was funny also. And then then later that night after they eat dinner, Buffy's in her room and she's on the telephone talking to her BFF Willow, and they're like, "Hey girl, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just doing homework. By the way, there's an envelope on my bed. What's this? Let me open it. Oh my God, it's all my fish dead on a string in an envelope. That's terrifying. So I'm gonna come over to your house, and then we're gonna hang out there. Is that okay with you?" So then Willow goes to Buffy's, and they sort of hang out there. Is all
That's
that right?
And then when they tell Xander about it, he gets a big boner about two ladies hanging out together overnight.
Yeah, he did. I did sort of like that one shot when they do the reveal of the fish and he goes behind the fish tank, so you see it. I thought that was kind of fun. Not the greatest thing they've ever done, but I was pretty into it. Pretty fun way to do it. What else happened? Sorry, I get really distracted.
It's your notes.
I know, but I don't look at it, and then I just Spike Drusilla time.
Yeah, Spike Drusilla time.
All right, Drusilla brings Spike a little puppy named Sunshine. Did you like Sunshine?
So cute.
So cute. Sunshine lives, right? Is that a new
pet?
Yeah,
we never. I don't know that we ever see this dog again, but we never see it die. So I like to think that it got away.
Okay, yeah, I like to think so also. And she brought it for him to eat, but he's like, what, not in the mood? I don't know.
She says open wide.
Open wide. And but then Angel shows up and he like wrecks their good time. Well, I guess Spike's good time. Drusilla loves him still.
Angel is so good at ripping on Spike for being in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he is. He calls him something later. I forgot what he calls him. He calls him where I wrote it down somewhere. He calls him Roller Boy, which was pretty good.
Boy.
Roller Boy. There's no wheels, but Roller Boy was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was probably second best. And then Drusilla starts like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, I am having visions of somebody from our past trying to kill us." And then cut to Jenny going to that store. She's like looking for. They had a name for it, but I didn't write it down.
The Orb of Thessala.
Yeah, the Orb of Thessala. And so that's what she's looking for. She's looking for that, and she's like going to translate something to then give him a soul back. I didn't really quite understand it, but who cares? But that's what she's
I also
doing.
thought the actress who plays Miss Calendar's kind of bad in this scene.
Well, we've talked about it. Like anytime she's not with the people she's acted with for weeks and weeks and weeks, she's not that good. Like when with her uncle.
Yeah, but she also had to deliver a lot of mumbo jumbo in this scene, like a lot of magic-y stuff.
Yeah,
and I felt like she was
us.
like tripping over her words and shit.
But it was for us because prior to this, we didn't learn anything. Like we just know she's trying to do something for Buffy, but she has to explain like she's doing this and this and this for the soul, and so
Right.
she has to really go into detail for us, and it's a little clunky. But
I do sort of like the shop owner in this scene, though. He says, like, sold a couple of those orbs of Thessalos as new age paperweights.
yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
All right. He just sells that to people that don't know about it.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. But then we go to the school and Willow's all like, "Damn it, Miss Calendar's here. I can't teach class." Blah. So
She says 5 hours of lesson planning down the drain.
"Yeah, that's wild. You think that
I
happens
know.
all the time? Like every 5 hours for one class?"
No, of course not. My mom was a teacher. She didn't do shit.
What kind of teacher?
Math.
All right. I feel like that's pretty easy though, right? Pretty easy to teach.
I look. She did lesson plans. Like sometimes they're required to do them, but I don't recall it ever taking her 5 hours for one day. I think Willow's just a nut job.
I feel like math is mostly just like explaining things really simply to people. Other things is like you do have to plan more. I feel like. Anyway,
I don't know. I feel like English teachers, they're just like, we have a discussion about this.
Yeah, in English, not to like. I think Martha might be an English. She doesn't listen to this, but with English, I'm pretty sure you're just like, we're gonna read this book for 6 weeks. That's what we're doing.
Chat about it.
Yeah, that's what I remember from those classes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's basically what happens, right?
Sure.
Oh, and Giles, he found a solution to the whole invitation get up,
Yeah.
where they can reverse the thing, and so that's cool. Cut to Willow's house. She's nailing a crucifix to the wall, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm Jewish. My dad's gonna flip."
She
And
names her dad, too. First time we hear her dad's name.
didn't she say Mr. Rosenberg?
No, Ira Rosenberg. You don't get more Jewish than that name.
Yeah, I thought that was a woman's name. Ira?
Fucking Alabama over here.
Thought,
Just because you've never met a Jew in your life. Ira.
you might be right.
Ira's a big male Jewish name. Go back, watch some Mad About You. You got, hey, cousin Ira.
All right, well, I never fucking seen that show. I'm sorry.
All right.
What do you want from me?
It's a big name.
But yeah, anyway, and then Cordelia's like, "Hey, why don't you have any fish in your fish tank?" Which I thought was very funny. And then they find the drawing of Joyce, and you're right. I think that's the best one. Also, I don't know if you said it's the best one, but I do think it's the best one. It's like the most.
Did.
The first time I saw it, I was like, immediately knew it was her, and because the other ones you're supposed to know, like Jenny, you know it's the Jenny one because it's in the house, it's in Giles' house, right? And Buffy, she wakes up to it, but this one, it's just on Willow's bed. It could be anybody. So, and I knew immediately. So, shout out to them.
Also, Willow talks further about her Judaism in this scene. It says that her parents didn't let her watch A Charlie Brown Christmas. She had to go over to Xander's house and watch it. And she says that Xander used to do the Snoopy dance every year. And we get to see him do that in a later episode.
Wow, that's very exciting. You think they ever played Doctor? You think they ever played Doctor whenever they went to go do Snoopy?
Yeah, but she was just diagnosing him, not touching that D.
Jeez. Don't call it a D when they're little kids.
Well, that's why it is a D. It's not a dick yet. It's just a little D.
I don't know about that. So, what happens? Oh, Mom runs into Angel, right?
Oh,
Angel's in the yard. He's like, "Hey, Mom, can I talk to Buffy?" And she's like, "No, she doesn't want to talk to you." And I noticed, by the way, she had a bunch of oranges. What was she going to make with all those oranges?
I'm not really sure. I know I clocked that too.
So many oranges.
Angel starts to pick them up, put them back in the bag, and one of them, he missed the bag and it went flying. Joyce turned around, went to pick it up, and was like, "Oh shit, I got to continue the scene."
Yeah, I noticed that as well. You know what I thought about whenever that happened? I thought about that part in one of the Three Ninjas movies when they go to throw the dumps. They throw like garbage in the dumpster.
That still drives me nuts. I hate thinking about it.
I think that was the third one. The one that was supposed to be second, but was the third one.
Yeah. Knuckle up.
I think that's my favorite one.
Yeah, no, that's definitely that one because they're hanging out with that Native American girl, and that's
Yes. That is my favorite one because it's, or maybe second favorite, because it has the most like brother dynamic of like the girl getting in the way. I was sort of into that.
Well, I like it. They have that in the first one too. You'll remember the classic line: "Rocky loves Emily."
Rocky, yeah. Well, I guess that's why it's my second favorite. The first
there
one's
you go.
obviously the classic of the bunch. So yeah, and then he's like, he ends up bringing up like the night that me and Buffy made love, and she's like, oh no, what? And yeah, I don't know, how did he bring it up? Did he just say
He
me and
basically
Buffy
says
made
that.
love?
Yeah,
All right.
it's fucked up. I mean, he knows what he's doing. That piece of shit. It's honestly
Well, he doesn't. He's jealous. He's not real Angel.
probably the worst thing he does in this episode is murder Jenny, but that's number 2.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. That replacement level Jenny photo was probably number 2. Could have done a little bit better on that one. Aside from the flowers, I guess you liked.
Oh yeah.
So then Jenny and Giles. Rupert Giles, I guess I'll use full names this episode for him. He goes to her classroom, right? And he's like, meet me at my house. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but they're like, we don't have a lot of time. Oh, she's like busy with the disc shit, like
But she has some shit to tell him.
Right, but he's like, all right, so meet me at my house later. We'll go through all our issues. And she's like, deal. Great plan. And so he leaves. She ends up doing it. And I thought it was so funny. We talk about when she's acting with other actors. Not that this may have just been the writing that was pretty funny, but she's like, almost there. Haha! Got it! I transcribed it! It's so funny the way she does it. But, yeah, so she does that. She gets it all ready. And then, what happens, D-Train?
Angel pops in.
Yeah, and he destroys the computer, or he rips up all the papers and everything. He chases her around town.
And
Where does she go?
And he shatters the orb of Thessala against her blackboard.
Right, he did do that. Where does she run to eventually? This
is just all through the school.
Oh, it's just all. Oh, you're right. She never leaves the school, I guess. And he snaps Jenny's neck, and it's very upsetting.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was coming.
Pretty rough stuff.
I poured one out for Jenny. I love Jenny.
You hear that neck snap, man. You know, this was originally when they were planning season 2. This was going to be Oz. They sort of created Oz to die in this episode.
Wow.
And then they liked Oz, so they pivoted.
They didn't like Jenny?
They liked Jenny too, but I guess they felt she was more expendable.
All right. I mean, I agree, but damn. It was upsetting, but it was a good call. I like that this show is actually killing people.
Oh, yeah. Buffy never shies away from that shit.
Our principal died like 5 episodes into Buffy or whatever.
True,
remember?
Principal Flutie.
And by the way, where's Principal Snyder at?
We'll see him in the finale. I know that.
He still hasn't showed up. But yeah, it's very upsetting. Do we have a eulogy for Jenny? I really like Jenny. Thought she was very cool. I liked her and Giles' dynamic. It was probably the most interesting part of Giles the whole time, right? So far?
Yeah. I mean, this was shocking at the time. Yeah. I didn't see it coming at all. I sort of expected them to like make her a regular by season 3. So this was really not what I saw coming. And yeah, you know, she's a really good character. She's incredibly important to like the early days of Buffy.
Yeah, well, she'll join Uncle Enos?
Enos, I believe.
What is it?
Enos?
Oh, she'll join Uncle Enos in heaven. Or hell. What do you think?
I think just the gypsy afterlife. Maybe they got like 72 virgins or something.
Okay, all right. That's good. We'll see you never, Jenny. I enjoyed
No,
you
we'll
on
see her. We'll see her.
Oh, all right. We see like Force Ghosts?
You're not far off.
All right, that's incredible. So
Yeah.
then, what happened? Giles discovers the news.
Yeah. Well, oh, yeah. I mean, Giles walks in his door. There's some beautiful opera playing. There's some champagne.
Oh, a moment before that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Giles goes to Willow's house, I guess, about a book. She borrowed a book, and he's like, "Can I get my fucking book back?" And then
No,
he's
it's
like,
Buffy's house. It's Buffy's house, but Willow answers the door.
Right. You're exactly right because she's upstairs with mom, and he's like, he says, if you want, I could like talk to mom about the whole Buffy situation, and Willow's like, I don't think that's such a good idea.
No, I love how Willow handles it. She goes, "Okay, what would you say?" And then Giles thinks about it and is like, "Okay, yeah, I see your point."
Yeah, you're right. She does do that. It's much better than what I said. And then cut to upstairs, and that's when mom and Buffy are talking about everything, and
Oof.
she's like, were you safe? Did you use protection? Were you in love with him? Was it your first time? All this stuff.
Yeah.
And Buffy, earlier we said Jenny said she was in love. Buffy says it too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
anything from there?
No, I mean, I like that scene. I think both of them are really good. McGellar and Christine Sutherland.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. And then then we go to Giles. He finds out. He goes home and he finds the photo, and he thinks she's up in his. She thinks he's about to get his freak on, right?
He finds the photo later, dude, because the photo's of her dead. I mean, it's not a photo; it's a fucking drawing. He finds first just flowers and champagne and a note that says upstairs.
All right.
And so he pours 2 glasses of champagne, and he takes his glasses off. He fucking fixes his hair up like, I'm about to get laid. And then he walks up the fucking stairs, sees Jenny dead in his fucking bed, and drops the champagne glasses on the floor.
Yep. Very sad. And
Brutal.
Then he calls them and he tells them the news, and they all break down. And then one of my favorite parts
that is my favorite scene in the entire episode.
Them all crying.
Yeah, and Angel watching them through the window.
I love that because they're all like breaking down, and he's just smiling. He's loving it.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I kind of think Geller and Allison Hannigan are incredible in that scene because you don't hear them. They have to like convey the shock of hearing about Jenny silently.
You don't cut from inside to then outside with
No,
Angel?
the whole thing is done through the windows.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I like that. You don't think Xander's good there?
He's not in that scene.
Oh, they're not all gathered around crying?
No, Joyce is there, but...
Oh, they just got the phone call? I guess he just
yeah.
called them there. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was great. Yeah. And then, so... That Giles, now he's all pissed off, so he's like, now what? I gotta go kill Angel, obviously. And so they realize, so they run over to Giles' house, and they're like, well, Giles is off to kill Angel. So then they run over to Angel's, and then they're like, not his house, I don't know, wherever they run to.
The factory, that lair they have.
Yeah, whatever. And so there's like a big showdown, and Angel calls Spike Roller Boy, which was a great part of the episode. And Buffy saves the day. She like separates them, and everybody gets away. Nobody else dies.
Yeah, but all the bad guys get away. But the factory burns down. I think next time we see them, they're staying somewhere else.
So what? That was their lair where that battle took place?
Yeah, that's where they've been staying like since fucking episode 1 when like the Master's bones were destroyed there.
Oh my god, really? That's been this whole place this whole time?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like a new place that they got in season 2 with like the bones of the Master.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, I thought you meant season 1, episode 1.
No, in season 1 he's underground in that church.
Oh, okay, around the same page. Okay.
But when they break the bones in that first episode, this is where they are.
When she was bad?
Yeah, when she was bad.
Great episode.
I know.
Episode. So yeah, that's basically what happened. Then we go to a grave, and I thought this was a little disrespectful to Jenny Calendar. She has a tombstone, and did you see what it said?
It said Jennifer Calendar.
Yeah, that's all it said.
Yeah.
There's no birth date, death date, no,
you know
like
what's
loving...
even fucking dumber about that?
Loving niece to Inos. I thought it sucked.
You know what's dumber about that than even that?
What?
That's not her fucking name.
Oh yeah, it should have been.
It's Yana of the Calderash or whatever.
You're right. You're
So,
exactly right.
I don't know. Maybe they bunged together that tombstone, but that can't be her official tombstone. It's not. They're using her fucking fake name that she's been using for like a year.
Oh, you think? So you think Buffy and Giles made that tombstone, or you think
It's
like
the only explanation because it's or it's just a fucking mistake.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about who made it, but I just thought it was extremely disrespectful to Jenny
It's a
Calendar.
shitty tombstone
Yeah, so
on every level.
yeah. And then go to the end of the episode. Now Willow is the new substitute teacher.
Yeah.
And she's all bummed out, and she's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be here until we get a new teacher, but I guess is until the end of the season or whatever."
Yeah.
And then the disc falls, and you're like, "Oh no, they'll never reverse the curse."
Yeah.
So there you go.
You want to know something else about this episode?
Of course.
Ed Sheeran has a song about it.
Okay.
And in the song, he samples the score that is playing during the funeral for Jenny.
I think was it William mentioned the score? I can pull up the Patreon. I think William mentioned the score in this episode.
So you know what's interesting about the score in this one?
What is it?
It's got like a male vocal part in it, and it's sung by Anthony Stewart Head, the fellow that plays Giles.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
What song is the Ed Sheeran song?
I think it's called like Love of Fire or something like that.
Love of Fire.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give it again. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm ever gonna give a Buffy episode 5 stars unless I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Are you
But-
fucking serious?
So I'm gonna give it 4 stars, and my MVP is gotta be Angel this episode. What is your star rating? Your MVP?
It's a 5.
Okay.
And
It is my favorite episode. I'll say that. I do think this is my favorite episode.
No,
I think I've come to the conclusion I love evil Angel more than like boyfriend trying to be like
a lot of
cool.
people think that, yeah. What,
Yeah, really?
Read me my list from the top.
Oh shit, let me pull it up. Innocence from the top to the bottom. Innocence by the way, I had Innocence at the top also. Which one is Innocence? That's the one. Is he evil at that point, or that's the one where they have sex?
No, that's the one where he becomes evil and the judge.
Is it the 2-part episode, the second one?
The second part of that, yeah.
Okay. Oh, the judge is in that one.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, I think I like this one more than that one.
No, I like that one more. You could pop this in at number 2.
I had a prophecy girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is number 2. All right, who's your MVP?
Giles. I think he's
Giles.
amazing. I love when he finds.
He's got the song also. Good
Yeah, he
tributes there.
sings. He
Like a
finds
John
the dead
Carpenter.
body, which is a really beautiful scene. He fucking gets all badass, like beats the shit out of Angel with like a flaming bat. It's fucking cool.
It seemed like you let him. It seemed like Angel could have took over at any point there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rupert had the element of surprise on his side, but Angel could have turned it around in like a second.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so that's your MVP. Who's your LVP? I don't know. I had Spike
I don't want to go
he didn't do
Jenny in
much.
the episode that she fucking dies.
Yeah, I didn't really know.
Let me look at the cast. I'm pulling up the episode right now.
Who's like somebody that's not here usually?
There's the shopkeeper. You
Probably
can give
go
it
with
to Jonathan if you want.
No, maybe his girlfriend.
She doesn't have any lines.
Yeah, well, she could have used a line. She wouldn't be the LVP. I like
Yeah.
Cordelia when she's like, "Hey, why aren't there any fish in here?"
No, I like Cordelia in this one too.
Xander's good.
I'll
Yeah,
give
I don't remember too
LVP
much.
to whoever made that gravestone.
Oh, great call. You usually don't like to do like production people, but I agree. Oh, you mean like the character who made it?
Either one.
I agree. All right, we go with the Tombstone Maker.
Yeah.
There we go.